What's going on, guys? It's Say the J, back at it again, and this is a review on the 2021 KTM 690 SMCR. Now I know you're saying I had a 2019, I crashed it, you saw the video, put it back together, I sold it, I wound up getting a Ducati 950 RVE. I didn't like it, just wasn't for me. So I went again and got the 2021 690 SMCR. Now if you watch my other reviews, pretty much the same thing. The only difference is the color scheme. So you got the orange fender in the front here, fork guards, orange as well. I think the old one had black forks, I'm pretty sure. And you have the gray design here. Everything else is pretty much the same. If you saw my old video, the dash is the same. Now I noticed in the European models, they actually have a shift indicator. It's still a dash just like this, but there's like a little bit more to it. They didn't bring that to the US this year, so maybe next year they will. It's weird, we're kind of behind a little bit. Also, like the seat release on this bike, if you want to come on this side, last year was right in here. This year, or 2019, this year it's still right here. It's a little tab here. I don't know if you can get in here and see. I'm gonna pull this tab up right there with my fingers, and then you just lift the seat right off. So for the ones in Europe, I realized where the gas cap is on the back here, they actually just put it out here so that no one can just come and take your seat off, which is a pretty nice feature. And to put it back on, easy, just get the front end right here, and then push down, clicks right in. I like that they left the handguards black. I actually got the two black fender and a housing. I do have an LED bulb as well that I haven't. This is completely stock. I just want to put this in so you guys can see it, you know, how it is. So I'll turn it on here. So if you want to come over here, I'll show you. All right. So the display here, if you want to come take a look at that. So the display here is the same, pretty much the same. I got 400 miles on it. It has the time, miles per hour. You have buttons here for trip 1, trip 2, the odometer, average miles per gallon, I guess, or average speed, I don't know. Yeah, so that's about it. Everything else is pretty much the same. You still have your ABS button here. You have your mode buttons here, 1 and 2. 1 has like wheelie control on, 2 is like supermoto mode. Now, one weird thing about these bikes that I found out that a lot of people have questions on is, hey, I have the bike, I can't figure out how to turn traction control or ABS off. So it's pretty simple. What you have to do is, when you turn the bike on, both the ABS light and the traction control light are going to be on. You have to roll forward for like maybe 10 feet, like get up to like 3 to 5 miles an hour and then stop. You'll see these both lights go out. You're gonna hold the ABS button for about 5 seconds and then it'll just turn on. The traction control is a little different. You're gonna hold that for the same amount of time, but instead of the ABS, how the ABS just turns on the light, the traction control, you have to let it go and then it will turn on. When you see this indicator, it means that it's off. So it's kind of weird. Horn, normal. We'll start it for you so you can hear the stock version. This is a stock exhaust. Another thing that I did as well is when you first get this bike, you're going to have this huge tailpiece that comes down here that hangs down really low. And what I did was there's 3 bolts underneath here. You can come check it out real quick. So there's a few bolts under here. You see these 2 bolts here. This one, there's 2 bolts here, and I think there might be, well, I think that's it. So you take those out. There's a wire that comes down. I kind of just tucked that under there. You take the whole thing off. The only wire that's going to connect to that piece is going to be your license plate light. So you just take that off, you're fine, your brake lights will illuminate it. I have it, I just drilled holes in here, use the factory ones, and then good to go. So if you want to come over here, I'll show you what I got. So we just picked up the new Arrow exhaust for this. We're one of the first ones to get it. They just released these in like full titanium slip, full system titanium. I didn't get that. I opted for just a slip-on because it took faster to get here, whatever. This is it. This is a black version. It still has the carbon fiber tip. Now there is a dB killer in here that you can take out with a simple tool. I do have that tool. So you take this out and then you pull this piece out and that will make it a little bit louder for you. I don't know how it is without tuning. I also have from Rottweiler Performance, I got this LED bulb, the one I was talking about before. If you guys want any of this stuff, let me know. I'll be glad to tell you where I got everything. I go to places where they usually have it in stock, so you don't have to wait. This is an H410 Ultra. So this bulb, I'll go over how to do this because I had a lot of people in the past ask me how to put this light in because they said it's not plug and play. It is. It's just really confusing when you look at it when you take the housing off. So I'll be sure to go over that. And yeah, so that's about it. I'm going to show you now the sound before and after with the exhaust done. And I'll probably do a separate video for that too, just for people who just want to see the exhaust. So yeah, all right, let's get to it. All right, so this is the stock headlight, how it looks with the bulb. I'm just changing out the bulb. So you can see that yellowish hue, low beam and high beam. I hate it, and I'll show you afterwards. All right, and this is the bike with the LED light on. You can see nice and white, high beam, nice and white, and there you go. LED upgrade. Also, we finished the exhaust here, Arrow exhaust. Remember when you install this to take the gasket off of the stock exhaust, which is here. It's right where that spot is. It's a gasket. They give you lube to lube it up. And yeah, this is how it sounds. I took the dB killer out because who needs that? So. What is going on, players? I know it's been a while. I'm here on the 2021 KTM 690 SMCR. I have not reviewed this bike yet, but I am doing that now. So hopefully the other clip that I showed you guys was of me reviewing it with my A6400, and now I'm taking you guys on a ride. So I have had this bike for 2 days. It was kind of crappy out. I rode a little bit just to get a little used to it before this video, because if you saw, I was going to do a review. I got the Ducati Hypermotard 950 RVE, the 1 out of 100 bike, but I wound up selling that because it's made as a hooligan bike to look like a hooligan bike, but I mean, compared to the 939, which Andrew had, if you watch my old video, you can clutch that bike up easy. They don't let you slip the clutch on the new one. There's no maps out. I called every Ducati in like the US. So it was kind of like you couldn't do fun stuff with it. It wouldn't let you do stoppies. You couldn't take ABS all the way off unless you hot wired it, which buying a Ducati and spending that kind of money, I don't really feel like hot wiring a bike. Then it was just, you know, I could power wheelie it all day. That was fine. But like, you know, not everybody wants to do wheelies at like 100 miles an hour. You know, some people like to just chill and coast. So that's what I was trying to do. And unfortunately, I was unable to do that with the Ducati. So I wound up selling it, and I got back on this 2021 KTM 690 SMCR. And as you can see from the footage probably earlier, the color scheme on this is dirty. It is so much nicer than last year's. I mean, last year's was sick. It had the white and black, but this with the gray, I already ordered the black front fender and headlight housing, and or not the housing, you know, the plastic for it. And so I'm gonna black the front out just to keep it, you know, with the black and gray look. I think it'll look sick. I'll show an update video after that. As far as exhaust, I don't want to go with the Acura again because I did the Acura last time. I didn't even wind up doing a review on it because like it was just like, it didn't look good to me. It had like the two little things hanging off the end, not like the European ones where it's just the singles. And it even sounds better on the European models, even though Europe is like way more restricted than here. And yeah, so I wound up riding that, and the stock sound compared to that, I mean, maybe a little difference, nothing like noticeably different. So I was just kind of upset with it, to be honest. You know, I spent money on it, I was excited, and it wound up just being not what I expected, you know. So well, the tires are slipping a little bit. I gotta break them in, they're still new. Oh man, my mirrors are loose. Dude, these mirrors are like the worst mirrors on the market, FYI. The stock ones that come with this bike, I'm taking them off. I want to do some kind of bar end, but it's hard with the hand grip, so like I gotta do something custom with it. So I don't know, we'll figure it out. But dude, I'm glad to be back on this KTM. I haven't really been going hard on my wheelies. I mean, since last year I crashed. I mean, I know it was my fault. I was goosing it, and I wasn't used to the bike. I didn't really understand how to control the wheelies, really. You know, I was just like, I was pretty amateur at it, and I was riding above my skill level, to be honest. And I need to be able to, you know, I need to be able to ride, you know, what my skill level is, and just be comfortable with it, you know. Now I know how to keep the throttle a little more steady instead of just like giving it gas, letting it go, giving it gas, letting it go, and my foot on the back brake. I mean, I was covering the back brake the whole time. I practiced covering all the time. I didn't practice using it. So when it came down to it, you know, 50 miles an hour in second or third gear, whatever I was in, I wasn't ready to use the back brake. I never practiced using it. I practiced covering it. So make sure you practice using that back brake. You know, if you're gonna do wheelies, like just clutch up and then back brake it down. I'm in third right now, and that's not a good spot for this, right? But yeah, I mean, you know, you got to do what you got to do. As far as this bike though, I mean, it's going to be the same as the other bike. There's really no differences on this. On the European model now, I noticed they changed the instrument cluster. Still looks like this, not really much different, except they gave you a gear indicator. They gave you RPMs with like numbers, so not like an RPM like where you could see the bars go up. It's just the numbers. I think that's it that they changed on the European model. US model did not get that. This is the 2021. They got the colors, but they did not get that screen. I don't know why they do that, but maybe next year they'll get it, because I think it would be nice to have a gear indicator on here. I don't really care about RPMs because I haven't used them on the last year's model either, so I'm kind of used to that. But yeah, I mean, everything else on this bike is like, you know, just how it was before. It's a great bike. It's fun. It's awesome. It's fast. It's got the quick shifter, auto blipper, up and down. No problems with that. I'm using riding shoes, so my riding shoes are perfect for it. Like nice tactile shifts. Like I'll show you right now. Not even high in the rev range, you know. Like you don't have to be. As long as you give it a nice hard shift, like you're good to go. And riding shoes really make a difference for that. I didn't get any until after the trip to Tennessee last year, and man, it made a world of difference, especially with being sore on your feet, like after riding for a while. At first it's like a jacket, you know, it's uncomfortable, you feel weird, you feel restricted, but then once you get used to it, it becomes like you can't ride without it, you know. You can't ride without a jacket, you can't ride without shoes, and it's honestly more safe, you know. You want to be safe when you're riding these bikes. So the last time I had an issue with speed wobble around 100. Right now I'm at 100. No speed wobble at all. So must have been a balancing issues with my tires, because someone had mentioned in the comments last time that I shouldn't be having that issue, and they were correct. I shouldn't have been having that issue.